This is where last time Patrick was singing and it worked really well, but I don't think I've managed to do that this time. Hello, good evening. Oh, I'm too tired. I can't do some funny foreign talk. So here we are again, drone stuff this week, and this week is quite exciting because Loretta's just been away at the Mavic launch, and Gene's been doing good things with first responders. So let's keep, I suppose, suspense because people do want to hear about the Mavic. But let's go to Gene first. And Gene, you've been training first responders, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Gary, we finally rolled out our long-awaited package that was primarily for public safety officials. It's called the Eyes Overhead Training Program. It's 30,000-foot eyes overhead kind of situation so that they can get an idea of what it's going to be like to have their own aviation department, if you will, since now that the FAA has decided that we're flying aircraft now, we have to be more or less compliant with some of the full-scale aviation precepts that are out there. And more importantly, for public safety, we really only get one passing grade, and that's 100%. And we have to fly at a much higher level of professionalism, I think, than even a commercial operation does. So our program was developed around a procedures-based mission policy where you plan your flight and you fly your plan. That's the most important thing. The military and full-scale pilots go through checklists and do things via procedures for a reason. And that reason is that it works. You need to develop that muscle memory. You need to develop the flying instincts, if you will, to be able to handle.
So what have you been training? Have you been training the hands-on flying bit, or have you been training the paperwork?
Yeah. Well, we have to kind of trudge through all the paper that's involved, simply because of 107. We are teaching to 107 because that's what many people are going towards. But we also talk about certificates of authorization because as government agencies, they can apply for a COA as well. And then before they get their full certification, yes, they must fly. We do use small copters to start them out. We use simulators to vet potential pilots. We use as much of the computer-based stuff as we can to keep from crashing our little trainers that we use. And then we have trainers that are designed to mess up so that you have to actually recover them and you have to land them. And it's one of the requirements before you get your official certification.
So you do have a sort of a flying requirement, which of course Part 107 doesn't actually have, does it? You don't have to go and have a hands-on flight test, which is a little bit crazy. So your what was I wanting to say? I was wanting to say the part. Oh yeah, that's right. A lot of people on the forums are saying, "Whoa, can't we go off and do search and rescue now?" And what's the reality of that? Do fire brigades and want people turning up with their Phantom and saying, "I'm here to help," or do they want somebody that has a little bit of awareness? I guess I'm answering this already. I suppose they want somebody that wants awareness of how a fire service or whichever rescue service it is might work.
Listen, that in the right circumstances, if someone offers the right tool, there's certainly that opportunity. However, as a standard, 98% of the time, before you get to go to a scene, they're going to vet you, and they're going to find out just exactly what your skills are. There's a certain amount of liability that you have to assume when you go out there and you want to do the search and rescue or you want to fly the fire, because you could literally be taking lives in your hands.
Do you? Sorry, it's a bit like the. I don't know if you had it there, but over here and certainly Europe for a while, if you started, as an analogy, if you started CPR, then you had to continue CPR until somebody came along to relieve you, and if you couldn't for whatever reason, then you could end up in a world of trouble if you. So if you felt you couldn't get the CPR done, you shouldn't actually start, was the idea. But anyway, that's gone away now. So if you start a search and rescue mission and your battery goes flat, or you're promising a service, I guess you could get yourself into trouble for not being able to carry out that duty that you put yourself in.
Well, certainly in this litigious world, you could get yourself into any sort of trouble many different ways with an unmanned aircraft. But strictly from a professional standpoint, that department could be liable. If you were out there and you were acting under the auspices of that department and you had a problem or you failed to follow a procedure in a certain way, that department could be liable for your actions. And they certainly don't want someone that they don't know and hasn't been trained and at the very least doesn't know NIMS protocols and how you would fit in the process. Not to mention that, there's a language gap there too. I mean, if you've ever listened to a fire radio or a dispatch from any agency, you got to wonder what some of those numbers and codes and what they're talking about really mean if you do, in fact, understand them, because it's very difficult because each agency uses something a little different. And you need to be able to communicate with them as well.
So who are the people that you're training now? Is it firemen? Is it policemen? Who is it?
It truly is first responders, because we've gotten across the board, and these are typically agencies that really, really want to use drone aircraft. But they are left to their own devices as to what equipment to select, how to use it, when it's appropriate to use it, how do you deal with public perception of using it. All these things come into play as an agency, and there's no guidance out there for them. So that's what this program was designed to do. Of course, I've been doing search and rescue for 12 years, and my partners have been in law enforcement for a combined 25 years. So they are very aware of not only the procedures and the policies that they have to deal with and follow, but they are very savvy on the use of small drones as a force multiplier. And it gives them so many different avenues that they can use that protect not only the citizens that they're trying to serve, but it also protects them as well.
How many years out do you think we are from the Phantom, or whatever it is called, in 5 years' time, is just in its little slot in the back of the fire truck or at the back of every other police car or something? How far away is that, do you think?
Not very far. That surge has already started. I would say it's going to be as commonplace as any a stoplight camera by 2 years.
All right. Well, that leads me very nicely into bringing Loretta into play then, because she may very well have seen one of the platforms that might be slotted in the slot in the back of the fire engine or whatever in the DJI Mavic. She's been wined and dined by DJI this afternoon and has seen the platform in the flesh. Tell us all about it, Loretta.
Well, I definitely think it's a very exciting new drone from DJI, and I think that firefighters or police could easily pack one of these. I mean, the cost is very affordable, and for a drone that you could quickly use for some kind of immediate response, I think it has a lot of potential. But I thought it was amazing. I mean, how they went from the Phantom 4, which was, the size 2 or just under 3 pounds, to just about 1.5 pounds, and a folding drone. It's really the size of my hand, and I have pretty small hands. It's maybe a little bit bigger with the propellers out. But it's really amazing. It has all kinds of new features, and the controller is very small, too. So it's really, you could almost put it in your pocket if you had cargo pants.
What is it with Americans and small hands? But maybe we shouldn't go there. Let's not go there. But anyway, it's just I hear small hands a lot. I hear a lot of people talking about small hands. Anyway, so So it really was small, and I thought they did an amazing job with the presentation. There you go. I thought Michael Perry did an amazing job pulling it out of his back pocket, and I think the whole launch of this thing has been pretty amazing as well. And I think anybody wanting to launch a drone into the marketplace, any company now, just has to see what DJI did. I think they played the leaks absolutely perfectly against the Karma launch. They disrupted that just. Like, yeah, as I said last time, the because that was last week, and the like 2 hours before, I think it was, or whatever it was, the photos were arriving in my inbox, and today the video of the Mavic arrived in my inbox. As
really
it was.
Nice feel to it too. I mean, it feels very solid.
It?
Yeah, it has like a nice solid feel, like if you crashed it. Not that it would be very easy to crash, because apparently its vision positioning system is even better than the Phantom 3 and 4, and the camera does appear to be pretty well protected compared to, for example, the Karma, which is like just right out there. So
does that plastic ball, does that stay in place all the time,
No,
or is that for transport?
yeah, that's just to protect it when you're traveling. That comes out. And
sorry, Loretta, after you.
I was going to say, I haven't seen, I don't know whether the video was actually taken by the camera. I mean, if that was the video quality, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. The my lad, the first thing he said is, "Oh, great, it's not white." He loved that, so that's a winner as well.
Yeah, I was glad for the black too. Quite honestly, the white, it stands out more than I wanted to in most situations. I kind of like a little more stealth.
So, between the three of us, do we think that the Karma's a bit dead before arrival?
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm a big DJI fan, but I mean, I think it's day and night. I mean, it's such a much more advanced, the Mavic is so much more advanced in so many different ways that I don't know why anyone would buy the Karma.
Yeah.
Did you follow the launch much, Gene?
As a matter of fact, I did receive my notice of the launch, and I'm very interested in it. Obviously, from the first responder standpoint. And by the way, Loretta, we like ours to be real bright and colorful because we want people to see us. I mean, that's part of our gig. We want to be transparent when we're flying. But the Mavic being dark, and if you get it down below the tree line, you'll lose it.
Yeah, but that's okay because it's not going to hit the trees apparently.
That's okay, but you still got to go get it. What did you say the manufacturer suggested retail price was going to be on that?
Well, it's $799 without the radio controller, $999 with the controller, and there's like a special package that's $1299 with the car charger, extra batteries, the carrying case. But $999 is, I was thinking, before I used to buy extra batteries, but I ended up not getting an extra battery for the P4, and I think that it's probably like a good idea not to, because in 6 months they'll have one half the size, and I won't have all these extra batteries around.
Now, I wasn't sure. Does the Mavic do waypoint navigation?
I didn't hear that. Did it? Does it?
One of the first things that really impressed me was he mentioned a Drone Deploy and a Litchi, and Litchi will do waypoint navigation, so I'm sure it will. But what impressed me about that was telling us that DJI are in the industry and know the people and know the products and tools that people use to get a job done. Where of course our man last week with the Karma didn't have any of that. It has none of the as I say, the tools to actually get jobs done signed up yet, and I think that was a big mistake. They should have arrived with the thing and said, "Oh, look, here's the drone deploy app for our thing. Here's the Precision Hawk app for the Karma, the whatever, the whatever, the whatever. Here are all the toys that support this out of the box." And they've got to catch up on that alone. I sound like I'm really down on the GoPro Karma for perhaps some weird reason or whatever. But I feel a little bit sorry for them. But at the same time, they're coming into an established market, and they should have done their research a little bit better and realize what people wanted. There will be a certain number of people that want a selfie drone. There will be a certain number of GoPro fanboys that will buy whatever GoPro puts out, and the same is probably true of DJI. But are there enough? I can't see there are. Somebody else rant. I've been ranting too long.
Well, Mavic is definitely a selfie drone. I mean, I really think it's going to appeal to a wide range of people because people that like to backpack, stuff like that. I mean, I like to travel with carry-on luggage, and I found it to be really not conducive to traveling with the Phantom, because if I have the Phantom, I don't have a carry-on. So you had to make a choice. But with this, you wouldn't have to make a choice. You would just take it with you. So I think, I think it's going to have applications for people who just want an easy-to-use immediate drone. So while you're waiting for the real reinforcements to come, you might be just using this drone to scope out whatever you're doing. But assuming the camera's as good as the other products, I mean, I don't know why someone wouldn't get it.
I did see that it's a 4K camera on there, so one would assume that it would probably use the same Sony Exmor chip that's in the X3.
It looks that little bit smaller. The sensor was it the actual sensor or the camera smaller, Loretta?
Yes, the camera is smaller, but they say, and I don't know anything about the technical part, but apparently it's the same whatever of the 3, and it's not 4K, the other. But I'm not the expert in that camera quality. But certainly the videos that they showed were phenomenal. So if they took those with the camera, that's pretty amazing.
And could you see, could the camera tilt all the way up? Could it come up?
I didn't look. I do know that the camera moves independent from the drone, but no, I don't know if it tilts all the way up or not. I didn't see that on the specs. I have the specs. So the one thing. I'm sorry.
Sorry, after you.
I was going to say that if you don't want the controller, you can just use the app, but that works on Wi-Fi. So it doesn't have nearly the distance if you use the controller. So
did you see much of the gesture control? Did they show you any more of that?
Yeah, I mean, they show that. They claim that it works. I don't know. It wouldn't be like the first thing that I would want to test out. But, like what if the gesture you did was the one that said, "Come hit me"? I mean... But,
yes, that secret DJI Easter egg. yes, the come and get you Easter egg. But that was take a picture, wasn't it?
Yeah. Take a picture, and then this was.
Yes, this was. Yes.
Right.
But I was wondering. I did wonder if. I immediately thought, if you're going to do that, a cool thing to do would have an international sign language. That would be a pretty cool and inclusive thing to do. So I wondered if that was a camera symbol in sign language. Maybe I have to find out. But for the first version of this technology, if we want to call it, it's landed with a pretty impressive spec. Really impressive spec.
Oh yeah! Oh, it's incredible, and I really do believe that the next iteration is going to be smaller with even more power to it. I mean, it's just inevitable. I mean, they went from, the Phantom to this. It's like amazing to me.
It definitely is. Well, that's fantastic, and we're very jealous that you managed to get to the event and see it all. So I'm super impressed. And let's see. Well, of course, everyone's pining or crying out for the Inspire 2 now, aren't they? And I believe rumor control has it that that's about November the 18th. That's what I've heard anyway. But we'll see. Maybe it won't even come. Maybe they'll bring something smaller. Maybe it won't look like the first Inspire.
I don't know. The Inspire is too big for me. I mean, I'm not a professional, and it's too much drone.
You use Inspires, don't you, Gene?
Yes, we do, as a matter of fact, and we find it to be, and I really, really tried hard to hate it. I wanted to hate it so badly, but the one thing I've got to give DJI is that they listen, and they found out what people wanted, and the Inspire is a very capable aircraft. That is pure and simple.
Well, I thought DJI definitely listened. At Intradrone, I was telling Brendan that I really like a small portable drone. I really hate taking my Phantom when I travel.
And it just took him a month. All it did was it took him like a month. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's service. Not just listening. That's service.
That's
guys. Well, I think we're going to try and definitely keep it short now and finish this one because the last week was way too long. Is there anything else before we go that anyone's seen that's caught their eye this week?
Well, actually, the rumor is that DJI, this is good for us first responders, but they're actually going to come out with a combined EO-IR camera.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
where's that?
That one, yeah. So you'll be able to switch between natural light and infrared on the fly.
Wow.
And are they is the rumor that they're making that camera, or is somebody else making that camera for them?
Well, it's going to be a fully integrated piece like the X3.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. So I wonder then if I wonder if that Inspire 2 platform or whatever it is that's going to lift it will need to be a little bit more capable time-wise and stuff like that, if you're beginning to lift sensors like that.
Yeah, we'll see. But we'd really like to see that ourselves for sure.
I wish you'd have a look at aeroplane. Can I make a look? I think Brendan watches this occasion. Brendan, can we have an aeroplane now, please? Can we have a wing? I'd like to.
I offered them, a test bed. They could use a Spectra for a test bed.
That'd be interesting. And then new batteries, isn't it? Anyway, guys, someone's phone's ringing, so I better let you go to there. Thanks very much. We'll come back again next Tuesday and convene, and we'll see what's going on. There are no launches next week. That's as far as we know. That's terrible. No launches to talk about, but I'm sure something will have happened in the meantime. So, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Nice to meet you, Gene.
Nice
Cheers.
to meet you.
Bye.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
I'm going to sleep. Cheers.